Welcome to the Fast Break, the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA. I'm Jimmy, Chris, and Rod are here, and I'm starting things off hot. I got two things to talk about. Number one, that episode that you recorded last week. You remember that, everybody? No, you don't. Why? Because they're predictions. And Cowboy Derek, I love you to death. Cowboy Derek, you did a great job. I appreciate you. But your predictions were so bad, I couldn't even handle it. So I will throw that up later this postseason as a lost episode so you can listen to how bad the predictions were, how those Kings playoff games going. Hey, those Heat, they stink. They're not coming in anywhere. The 76ers, watch out, Chris. They're coming. This is like me on the NFL, guys. Seriously, one of us can be bad, not all three of you.
He's not wrong.
Let's talk about the final wins league tally.
Oh.
There were 2 weeks, week 2 and week 3, that I was not the winner. That stayed that way as I came away with 448 victories, an over 50-game lead over number 2. But I will tell you this, gentlemen. You two were mediocre and very close to each other at that. The second place had 393 wins.
Let's go.
The third place had 389 wins.
Let's go.
And Chris King, you are second place with 393 wins. Rod with 389. Congratulations, everybody. We really did a great job. I would say our best picks were the picks for each other because I had the worst record with the Trailblazers in the West. Rod had the worst record with the Pistons in the East, and the Wizards were just the Wizards, and it didn't really matter, Chris.
I'm going to tell you, I really feel like I'm like a teenage kid who's just been admonished by one of his parents. So he comes on here hot, Rod, upset with us and how we predicted our lost episode predictions. And then,
horrible.
And then continued to admonish us and our lackadaisical or lackluster picks in our wins league draft, Rod. I feel like he's about ready to just kick us off the pod altogether.
See, this one, I would akin this one more like kind of like I think they call it Chinese water torture, right? Where like he just kind of like drip, 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 right? Because he basically has just been hitting us with this week after week after week, right? He starts every pod with his new wins total and how like for a couple of days, Rod, I didn't even have to add a positive win for your team. You know, he'd give us a bunch of that as the year went along.
Had so many times where I didn't have to add it.
See, he's ready. He's got one chambered, ready to go. Boom, right there when I set him up for it. So it was a long-term punishment, and then we got the ultimate final jail term at the end. I think that's more what it was akin to.
So really, though, it for me, self-deprecating humor is my favorite. So it's funnier if I'm bad. This is just hilarious that I was so good, though. I really did enjoy that a lot. That was great. We had some amazing games. We had some really crappy games, too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go we'll get to Rod Nation. Calm down, everybody. We'll get to the King's Hardwood Hierarchy. I know. But I want some hot takes. I want a hot take from each of us. And I'm going to go first. I know I normally don't go first in these things, but I'm going to go first because I've got to get this off my chest as well. After watching 2 Nuggets-Lakers games, my hot take is the referees are actually out to get the Lakers. How can anybody see those games and not think that the Lakers are getting screwed over by the referees? And I almost got through that hot take without smiling, Rod. I agree with LeBron and AD. They shouldn't even said anything.
Oh, yeah, I wondered what you were doing there. I was like, man, he really is selling it. And then finally the little smile there at the end. I love that. Now, hey, listen, I count me as one of the suckers out there that thought the Lakers possibly had a chance. And I mean, just like the world's most competitive sweep that happened last year in the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers are in these games, but they just can't get it done. I will say this. No one really cares, but it works. I went to bed with 5 minutes left in the game. The Lakers were up double digits, I believe, at that point, but I still said to myself, the Lakers will lose this game. Did I know it would be on last second incredible shot fashioned by Jamal Murray? No, I'm not that good, but I did know that somehow the Lakers would allow the Nuggets back in the game, and the ultimate killer in the NBA, Jokic, would get it done again.
Chris, thoughts on my take on those Lakers? They never get calls.
No, never. That being said, D'Lo did get hit in the face. Any other time in the season, that's a foul. It doesn't matter
Is it
if
though? I don't think so anymore in the NBA, but we can get to that later.
if you aren't even holding the basketball and you catch an arm to the face, it's a foul. Whether you just shot or not, I'm sorry. We see it all the time. You get elbows to the head, it always gets looked at for an extra flagrant. Like that's what we've been accustomed to. You see a guy get an arm or an elbow into the head or face, it should be looked at and not overturned, but like there's a foul there.
So,
But
but we've seen
that didn't
that
lose.
in every game though.
That didn't lose
Every
the
game.
game for the Lakers.
Oh no, didn't see it. But Rob, we've seen this in every game. Philadelphia and New York, an epic battle. I still don't know how Philadelphia lost that. There were like 2 timeouts missed. There were like 7 fouls. There was a lot of things going on that nothing was called. Do you like this version of the NBA, or would you rather have had that last 16 seconds, last 25 minutes?
I'm probably biased here with my age and coming up in the NBA on NBC era days where we had a lot of games like this, and then also the Pistons, Cavs, Spurs days in the early 2000s. There were a lot of games like this, so a lot of my life this has sort of been NBA basketball. You know what I mean? Also, child of the 80s when a 3-pointer was new. Teams didn't score a whole lot then either because everybody was just getting 2-point baskets. So that doesn't bother me all that much. I like seeing defense because frankly, watching so many of these NBA games and even being the big supporter that I am, like, game 52, where it's Utah versus Portland, you know what I mean? And like a friend of mine's like, how can you watch this? It's hard for me to be able to explain to them how I can with the effort level that's being put in at certain times and just the no schemes. But in the playoffs, it's not that. So I love all of it. I love all of it.
Okay, Chris, you've been watching since that peach basket was nailed to the wooden pillar in the barn. Do you like this new NBA that we're seeing?
I'm torn because
Wow.
I do. I do because I do that. Listen, that's exciting entertainment. All right, let's be honest. That was entertaining at the end of that game.
My wife freaked out. She didn't even care. Yeah.
So that's entertaining, and that's what the NBA wants in the playoffs. All right. However, you do want a coach to be seeing it when they're calling a timeout. All right.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that first one was a little.
He's got to tell them seconds ahead of that if we get down under 20 seconds, call a timeout as soon as you get the ball. He can also say that. And then the players got to know enough. Like, come on, when are we going to blame Joel Embiid for anything?
If you want to blame somebody, you can blame Nick Nurse on his ridiculous.
Exactly. It's never Embiid's fault. It's never Embiid's fault. It's always Ben Simmons or this.
It's not what I'm bringing up. It's not what I'm bringing up. He has decided to let Josh Hart shoot, and right now, that's killing them.
Speaking of killing them, Chris, let's get your hottest take.
Sixers are coming back. They're going to win this series 4-2.
I knew you were going to say that. All right, here's the thing. You tell me how a team with their number one player who can barely walk right now is going to come back from 2-0 down to a Knicks team that is doing pretty well.
I cannot bring myself to believe that this Knicks team is better without my guy Julius Randle on the floor.
They are.
I know. I know, Jim. But can't.
They have to be better than the Sixers. They don't have to be better as a team. That's the thing.
Yeah, I just listen. I'm not counting out Philadelphia yet. Like, I get that it doesn't look great, but I am sticking by my original prediction, Jim, and sticking with the Sixers.
Okay, so no, that's wrong. Rod, do you see the Sixers coming back at all in this?
No, I got a hot take for you right now. Here's my hot take from the beginning of the playoffs. Joel Embiid should not be playing, okay? He should not be playing. He's absolutely hurting the Sixers. I'm sorry, he is. You can give me his stat line all day long. The Knicks are winning these ball games because guys like Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Hartenstein, these guys are hustling. These guys are out there killing, going after everything. And Embiid is basically loafing up and down the court. And that stuff feeds to everybody else. Embiid is hurting the Sixers. I don't care. 34 points, 12 rebounds, Rod. Fine. Fine. He's stuffing the stat sheet because nobody else on that team can score. But Embiid's hurting the Sixers. He shouldn't even be playing. They got no chance, Chris. Fine. Even if I'd be willing to entertain your nonsense right now that the Sixers are going to come back and beat the Knicks, you think Embiid's carrying them any more rounds of the playoffs? Like Jimmy said, he already looks done.
Let's go Sixers.
Okay, good rebuttal. I like that. Good job. So how are they going to do it, though, Chris? They're down 2-0. They are going home. Haven't lost a game at home yet, but Embiid's looking bad, dude. He just can't move. I know. I get it. Same with Rod, but he can't move. How many rebounds did the Knicks get in the last 20 seconds of the game, by the way?
Listen, I don't necessarily know how they're going to do it. I do believe in Maxey, though. All right, you want to talk about a guy that can carry a team? Yes, I mean, listen, the dude has been phenomenal this year, and he's still phenomenal. That's who's going to carry him the rest of this series. And listen, we have seen nothing but chalk in these playoffs, right? Nothing but home teams have won. So until a home team loses, do the playoffs really start?
I think they kind of start with what we saw there, but I don't know if Rock can top that, but let's see if he can.
We have to do something about this situation. The momentum is dying.
I don't understand no more distractions.
But I do believe we should all follow one path in life.
Hubris and ego and pride. Sorry, all that was a complete lie.
I love that part. Rod.
My Rod divination this week is really more of a query, more of something I'm sort of angry about, and I want to just get it out in the ether and see if someone can examine this for me and figure out if I'm onto something or not here. So the Magic traded away Tracy McGrady a long time ago, back in the day, right? Him and Grant Hill, once upon a time, we're going to come back and save the Magic after Shaquille O'Neal had left them and they were into the dregs and he was off and traded. And then Dwight Howard came in and Stan Van Gundy and things were okay for a little while. And then Dwight Howard left town and the Orlando Magic were put under a curse. Okay. We have seen numerous different players roll through Orlando, numerous different assistant coaches, head coaches, GMs, all of the above have all rolled through the Amway Center down there in Orlando. And one thing has remained constant. They have never been able to crack into the top 15 of offense in the NBA in any single season. And now it is coming home to puke up on our television screens. Only if you have NBA TV, thank goodness, because 2 of the games have been bumped over to there. But the Orlando Magic have scored less than 90 points in 2 straight playoff games. Okay. It is ugly down there in Orlando. I feel sorry for Paolo Banchero and his entire family. I feel sorry for the Wagner family because Franz all of a sudden has not been able to shoot. I feel sorry for Suggs because he plays his ass off on defense and it doesn't matter because they can't score the ball. It's ugly down there in Orlando and somebody should investigate this curse.
Chris, he brings up a good point because I think, Rod, they are losing these games to a Cavs team that came in and had no idea where it was going. So that's even doubling down on the misery here, Chris.
I said last week that if you're an Orlando Magic fan, you need to be happy that you saw this type of an improvement from your team. You weren't in a play-in game. You overachieved this year. This is a young team. They are inexperienced when it comes to playoff basketball. This is a little bit more pressure than what they're accustomed to. I'm not surprised that they're having issues shooting. I think you see this happen with a lot of teams when they make it to the playoff and they're young. You even saw it with OKC a little bit the other night. Even though they won the game, they had an off night shooting and scoring. So what they're putting on out there does not look good, and I'm glad it's on NBA TV, so it's not on national television. But it's not the end of the world, and I don't know if I believe in this Orlando curse quite yet.
Rod, is this a good step for them, though? They got 5th in the East, like Chris did say. It seems like they are a scorer or 2 away still. Are you at least excited to see where they're going, or you just think this is going to continue to roll?
Fine. Good. Be happy that you all had a great season that you can wrap your arms around and everybody can go get an ice cream cone at the end of the season. Congratulations, Orlando Magic. You're nowhere close to beating anybody in the East that matters. Chris, these guys might be young, but if they can't score, it doesn't matter. You can give these guys 5 more years and they can't score. It's not going to help.
All right, Chris, we got our King's Hardwood hierarchy. Who you got?
Sometimes Rod makes this tough to do, because he knows who I'm putting in the king spot. But then when he goes off on another team for not being quite as good as what his team is, he thinks all of a sudden they need to not be happy about improving from year to year. But Boston's number one. All right. They came out, they did exactly what they were supposed to do against Miami. They controlled that entire game, and they look like an NBA champion level team.
Yeah, we did see the if you make 22 threes, I think that's pretty good too, or something like that. So that's not bad. They live and die there.
Wait a minute. What has Boston got to do with Orlando stinking on offense? I'm not entirely sure of what
it was that last little comment you had to throw in. Fine, be happy about being a 5 seed, whatever, blah blah blah. That's your little attitude.
Yeah, but
that's
there's other teams in the East not named Boston. I don't understand why you had to make it about the Celtics.
Because that's your team. That's your team, and you've given up on the Kings, and I'm still fucking mad.
And they're the complete antithesis of the Magic because Jimmy just told you that.
Family show.
Jimmy just told you that. They're the complete antithesis of the Magic. They made 22 3-pointers. You can give the Magic the whole entire series, and they're not making 22 3-pointers.
We had 8 bullshits in the last one. We got a fucking and a bullshit. Yeah, it's 2 of them now. Two each.
I apologize.
I didn't do an F-bomb. You guys did the F-bombs. I didn't.
No, you didn't, Rod. You were good. You were good. All right, Chris, who's your queen? Watch your language.
It's the Timberwolves, okay? What have they
supposed to do?
They have came out and just locked down Phoenix in both games, okay? The Phoenix Suns, who I was told last week are an offensive juggernaut and are too much for the defense of Minnesota to handle. And that hasn't happened.
It's a lost episode. Another one of our great predictions.
I forgot about the Suns. The worst of all. Hey, the Suns are good. No, they're not. They have 3 players, and when the other team has 5 players, they can guard them. 105-93, and it wasn't that close today. All right. Timberwolves are your queen. Who's your prince? That's a 76.
No, I'm gonna put the Nuggets here because you were down 20 and you still had the intestinal fortitude to come back and fight and then win that game.
Knicks were down 4 with 12 seconds. What are you talking about? You're so anti-Knicks here. What did James Dolan do to you, Chris? What did James Dolan do to you? What happened in Madison Square Garden that you can't let Knicks love into your heart?
You going to be a Cubs fan again, Rod?
Is Tom Ricketts still the owner of the Cubs?
Then don't ask me dumb questions.
All right, this is an audio and video. And video is weird there. I hate when mom and dad start fighting, but mom and dad were fighting, I think, real there. So let's get a gesture before.
It's Phoenix.
Oh, I know.
And Orlando's a close second because they can't shoot.
Close second. A close second.
It's Phoenix. Phoenix is underachieving. Phoenix is
scored 100 points.
My favorite part about this podcast is it's literally a made-up list of Chris's ideas, and both of us know that he's wrong in his ideas, and it's terrific. I love that.
And Phoenix has not scored 100 points, Rod.
They have to.
They scored 95, and then 88.
Orlando wishes they could score 95. Orlando scored 95. They might have beat the Cavs once.
Nope.
They got the 93.
Cavs scored 97.
Oh, goodness.
Who cares about numbers? Why don't I understand why you love numbers so
I don't know.
much?
The numbers might be good for the winning team.
Yeah, I know. It is the NBA. It is basketball. We do keep score.
Numbers don't count.
Who cares about the score?
Now, Rod, that was a lot more of a Chris statement than you wanted it to be.
About talent. That's about putting a round ball through a round hole. You guys talk about all these numbers.
You guys are both round balls and round holes. And with that, you've been listening to the Fast Break, the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA. We got a lot of playoffs to come. We've got a couple games going on as we speak. Pacers need to get this win. It's pretty close right now. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
I also said the Mavericks were going to be in the Western Conference Finals in that lost episode, and that one's not looking great after one game as well. So just again, bang up stuff out of me. So yeah, you're right, Chris. I probably shouldn't be yelling at you for anything because clearly I know nothing.
Oh, all of us made bad predictions. Goodbye, internet.